Morning, YouTubers. I think I'll give y'all a little tour of the house. Anthony made a comment about me doing a banjo video in the bedroom the other day, and we have a really small house. I mean, really small, which we like because it's pretty easy to clean a small house. But we have this thing here, which is a air cleaner, and because we have dogs, so much dog stuff gets in the air that we run this thing and cleans the air. And I got another little thing. I got a little bit of a cold today, so Honey Baby set up this little, I don't know what this thing is, but it puts some stuff in the air, and all those things make noise. We also have heaters, and they make noise. And the other day I wanted to make a banjo video, but I didn't want to cut everything off, so I went back here to the bedroom and I set my camera right up on that little windowsill, and I sat right here on the bed and played. So I thought, well, I don't have but one picture in my house. There's a lot of pictures on the walls. There's pictures that Honey Babe got from her brother, and pictures of the kids, and pictures of her friends, and a lot of pictures. But I've only got one. I'm going to show it to you. Some of you might remember this. This guy's name is Jason. He used to live pretty close to me up in Maine. This cross he has is one I made. There was a Nazarene church in our neighborhood about 2 blocks from my house up in Maine, and it had a lighted cross on top of it for years and years. And the storm came through and blew it off the church. And I used to work nights as a crisis clinician in Rockland, Maine, and as I would come over the hill coming down into Union, Maine, I would see that cross shining. Well, I went to their church one day, and they was having a yard sale, and that cross was sitting on the ground. It was all bent and broken, and I asked the guy about it, and he said, yeah, we had a big storm came and knocked it down, and I don't think we can afford to replace it. So I thought about that. I went home. It's like God said to me, okay, this is why I made you, so you can do stuff like this. So I went back up there and I asked them if they'd sell me the cross, and they did. You know, they're having a yard sale anyway. And it was all misshaped and bent up, but I got measurements off of it. And I took home. I made the frame out of an old galvanized boat trailer. I made the sides out of new tin. I made the lights out of these fluorescent LED lights, and I hope they still work, but if they don't work, I made it where you can lift it off. This is actually a Reese trailer hitch, and I built a Reese trailer hitch into this so that you can drop it off, and somebody could go up there and lift it up and take this front off and put new light bulbs in it. I built it with that in mind. Now, the one thing that I was terrified to do was to climb up on the church, and Jason had done some roofing work, and he wasn't afraid to do that. So this is him carrying it up there and putting it on the Nazarene church. That's the only picture I got in the house. Out in the garage, I got car pictures and stuff, but this is it for me. So anyway, I just wanted to share that. I was thinking about that because I put a I don't know, I look up and see that. It reminds me of I don't know, it reminds me of God. See, there's the heater. I don't know if you can hear that noise, but when the big furnace comes on, and it's 23 degrees right now, maybe it's gotten up to, let's see, 34, we're up to 34 now, so, but when that is on, yeah, if I'm going to play the banjo, I have to think about the background noise and stuff like that. It's a beautiful day. I've had a cold. I'm getting over it now. It wasn't a very serious cold, but it's just enough to kind of slow me down a little bit. And we broke a water pipe where the water runs down to Robert's trailer. It's that PEX pipe, and it's not supposed to freeze and break, but I've got one spot back there where it's broken 3 times in the same spot. I think I'm going to have to bury that section right back there, but this morning I got to get out there and fix it. So that's where we're at today. I was doing some work on the Studebaker last, and I'll get out there today and put the headers back on it and maybe drive it around a little bit. Honey Baby got me some new flags for Christmas. My old American flag was getting pretty faded, and my Ukrainian flag got tangled up in the bushes, and my Israeli flag faded out. I am a supporter of Israel, and this goes back to my biblical raisings. We were raised to believe that the Israelites were God's chosen people, and I still believe that, although, there's a lot of people. It used to be commonly held belief in America, but a lot of people don't hold necessarily the same common beliefs that everybody took for granted when I was young. And Ukraine's a good example. There's a lot of people that are not in favor of Ukraine, even though they are a country that's free and they are a democracy. We've got a lot of people nowadays spreading Russian propaganda and spreading hatred about the Ukrainian people. A lot of people don't realize it, but the Ukrainian people feeds about 3/4 of the world. It's a huge grain growing country. They have all kinds of art and wonderful things there. The people of Ukraine have been almost starved. They've been starved to death by the Russians in the past because the Russians came in and stole all their food. And so they have reasons for not wanting to let Russia come back in and take them over. In fact, Ukraine had nuclear weapons at a certain time, and they voluntarily gave those up, believing that they were going to be safe from the Russians. Well, the Russians have not only attacked them, but they spread propaganda, and a lot of stuff that you see on the line it's just plain old-fashioned Russian propaganda. When we were kids, we understood about Russian propaganda. It was a part of a way of life. I don't think young people know that. I one day to Honey Babe's grandson, he was at our house, and he said something about something, and I said, well, that's just Russian propaganda. And he laughed at me like, oh, that's good. When you're an old man, you have old man thoughts. Nothing old manish about Russian propaganda. You don't have to beat a country with weapons to beat a country. If you can change the heart of the people in a country so that they are no longer to stand for their own country's democracy, then you can take that country over. If you can convince a country that your Russian dictatorship is better than our American democracy, if you can convince enough people of that, you can take that country over without firing a shot. That's exactly what's been going on lately. Y'all can believe whatever you want, but I'm telling you the truth. And that's another thing right there. I've had a few people lately trying to tell me what I should believe. And what I believe is what I believe. And heck, fire. Y'all can just deal with it. Like, a good example, Waylon Wire. He'll love this. He told me this morning my resolution wasn't good enough. I didn't even know what he was talking about. What resolution? I don't make New Year's resolutions. And it's like, no, he's talking about something to do with your camera. Bless your heart, Waylon Wire. I hope you can live with the fact that my resolution ain't good enough. I have told you before, lower your standards when it comes to me. Just lower your standards, all right? Mercy sakes, great balls of fire. All right, so I might play a little banjo while it warms up, because after it thaws out, I'm going to go out there and fix that pipe, and then I'm going to work on the Studebaker. And we'll see what else we get into today. That's just a little almost live view of my world for this morning.